Today's wine text is the 2013 Agricola Punica Barrua from Sardinia. So, just to start off, I think this is our first Sardinian wine that we've done so far on WineText. If you're not familiar with the region, I'll go over that just real quick. So Sardinia, we did some Corsican wines, which is the small island west of Italy. Sardinia is the large island underneath Corsica, west of Italy. So still being an island, a lot of that kind of coastal influence, you get a lot of that ocean air that blows over, which creates a natural minerality in the wines. There's definitely cool climate here. I think the days get really hot, which gets a lot of the ripeness that comes through on their wines. A lot of that kind of big rose petal, a lot of that floral notes. But this wine specifically is a different level of style of wine on top of the grape that they use in this, which is almost nearly all Carignano or Carignan, is a naturally very earthy and savory style wine. So the big story behind this wine is Sardinia is a growing region within Italy. I would say, I mean, they've been making wine there forever, but in the last 10, 15 years, I think they've gotten a lot of attention, and because of that, bigger names have gone down there and kind of settled in and started making wines and sourcing grapes from some of the top vineyards. To me, when I look at this bottle, I think of another producer, which is why I think of it that way, which is Sassicaia, and Tenuta Sassicaia is a big part of this project. They went to Sardinia and found out, you know, there's some amazing soils, some great grapes being grown down there, and they wanted to be involved. So they went down there and they opened up their own winery with a group of a couple other different producers and wine professionals. So the brewer is, like I said, almost all Carignano. I think it's about 83%. I think it's 10% Cab and a little bit of something else. But this is the 2013 vintage, which, you know, you won't really find Sardinia on too many vintage charts, but when I look back, 2013 was actually a pretty good year, pretty dry, lush year for the grapes, perfectly ripe, and the cool nights kept that acidity going as well. But Sassicaia is most known for their pretty full-bodied wines, and I would say this style is actually pretty full-bodied. So I'm actually going to taste it with you guys because Carignano and Sardinian wines might be new for a lot of you. But yeah, some really cool stuff that I'm super excited about bringing. I mean, these are the kind of gems that you find all over the world, and you find out that a big name maybe from Bordeaux or a big name from Napa Valley decided they wanted to go to another place because they had such a good experience there and actually create a project that's affordable on like their $200, $300, $400 bottles of wine that they normally make. So I opened this probably, 5 minutes ago. I didn't have much time to think about it, open it up earlier, but it's actually drinking pretty well right out of the bottle. Lots of that really bright red fruit up front, a lot of that kind of almost like a red fleshy fruit, like a really deep plum. But the natural Carignano earth is what kind of comes through the most here. I get a lot of that kind of clay, that really dark, smoky, kind of meaty flavor profile, almost like a Serrano ham or something like that, like something I naturally always get from the great Carignan. Just as I expected, super full bodied, lots of tannin structure. I mean, the color on it's pretty dark, which means they let it go on the skin for a decent amount of time. And it does spend some time in oak, which gives a little bit more of that tannin push, a little bit more of that, baking spice, kind of pepperiness to it. This is a really cool wine. You're not going to really find too many producers in Sardinia that have the background of this. And I have no problem, popping this now and drinking. I wish I would have opened it maybe a half hour before. But this wine has 10 to 15 more years of life in it, and I'm a true believer in that. So yeah, enjoy, guys. I think it's a really fun, exciting wine. I'd grab a couple bottles, and if you're a collector and you buy cases, this is a really cool case buy for sure. That is from a very big name, and you can enjoy it over the next 10 years or so.